name is Patricia. I'm an alcoholic and an addict. I'd like to read to you the 12 steps and the 12 traditions. We also know it as 12 and 12. So, um, I'm going to read out to you guys the introduction, and the next one is forward. So let me start reading. Introduction. Alcoholics Anonymous first published 12 Steps and 12 Traditions in 1953. Bill W., who along with Dr. Bob S. founded Alcoholics Anonymous in 1935, wrote the book to share 18 years of collective experience within the fellowship on how AA members recover and how our society functions. In recent years, some members and friends of AA have asked if it would be wise to update the language, idioms, and historical reference in the book to present and more contemporary image for the fellowship. However, because the book was helped so many alcoholics find recovery, there exists strong sentiment within the fellowship against any change to it. In fact, the 2022 General Service Conference discussed this issue, and it was unanimously recommended that the text in the book 12 Steps and 12 Traditions written by Bill W. remain, as is recognizing the fellowship's feeling that Bill's writing be retained as originally published. We hope that the collective spiritual experience of the AA pioneers captured in these pages continues to help alcoholics and friends of AA understand the principles of our program. The next section is forward of the book. Alcoholics Anonymous is a worldwide fellowship of more than 100,000 alcoholic men and women who are banded together to solve the common problems, to the help of fellow sufferers in recovery from that old age baffling mattering alcoholism. This book deals with the 12 steps and the 12 traditions of Alcoholics Anonymous. It presents an exponent view of the principles by which AA members recover and by which the society functions. AA 12 Steps are a group of principles, spiritual in their nature, which if practiced as a way of life, can expel the exception to drink and enable the sufferer to become happily and usefully whole. AA 12 traditions apply to the life of the fellowship itself. They outline the means of which AA maintains its unity and relates itself to the world about it, the way it lives and grows. through the essays which follow were written mainly for members. It is thought by many of AA's friends, but that these pieces might arouse interest and find application outside AA itself. Many people, non-alcoholics, report that as a result of the practice of AA 12 steps, they have been able to meet the difficulties of life. They think that the 12 steps can mean more than society for the problem drinkers. They see it in them a way to happy and effective living for many alcoholics or not. There is too a rising interest in the 12 traditions of a Alcoholics Anonymous. Students of human relations are beginning to wonder how and why AA functions as a society. Why is it, they ask, that in AA no member can be set in personal authority over another, that nothing like a central government can anywhere be seen? How can a set of traditional principles having no legal force at all hold the fellowship of Alcoholics Anonymous in anonymity and effectiveness? The second section of this volume, through designed for AA membership, will give such inquirers an inside view of AA never before possible. Alcoholics Anonymous began in 1935 in Akron, Ohio, as the outcome of a meeting between a well-known children of a New York broker. Both were severe cases of alcoholism and real destined to become co-founders of the AA Fellowship. The basic principles of AA, as they are known today, were borrowed mainly from the fields of religion and medicine, through some ideas upon which success finally depended, will the result of nothing the behavior and needs of the fellowship itself. After 3 years of trial and error and searching the most workable tenets upon which the society could be based, and after a large amount of failure in getting alcoholics to recover, 3 successful groups emerged the first at Akron, and second at New York, and the third at Cleveland. Even then, it was hard to find 2 score of some short recoveries. In all 3 groups, nevertheless, the infant society determined to set down its experience in a book which finally reached the public in April 1939. At this time, the recoveries numbered about 100. The book was called Alcoholic Anonymous, and from it, the fellowship took its name, and alcoholism was described from the alcoholic point of view. The spiritual ideas of the society were codified for the first time in the 12 steps, and the application of these steps to the alcoholic dilemma was made clear. The remainder of the book was devoted to 30 stories or case histories in which the alcoholics described their drink experience and recoveries. This established identification with alcoholic readers and proved to them that the variety impossible had now become possible. The book Alcoholic Anonymous came the basic text of the fellowship, and it still is. This present volume proposes to deepen the understanding of the 12 steps as first written in the earlier work, which the publication of the book Alcoholic Anonymous in 1939, the pioneering period ended in a prodigious chain reaction set in as the recovered alcoholics carried the message to still others. In the years, Alcoholic Anonymous flocked to AA by tens of thousands, largely as the result of excellent, continuous publicity freely given by magazines and newspapers throughout the world. Clergymen and doctors alike rallied into the movement, giving it unstinted support and endorsement. The startling expansion brought with it very sincere growing pains. Proof that alcoholics could recover had been made, but it was by no means sure that such great members of yet erotic people could live and work together with harmony and good effort. Everywhere there arose threatening questions of membership, money, personal relations, public relations, management of groups, clubs, and scores of other perplexes. It was out of the vast welter of explosive experience that AA's 12 traditions took form and were first published in 1946, and later confirmed that at AA's first international convention held at Cleveland in 1950. The tradition section of this volume portrays in some detail the experience which finally produced the 12 traditions and so gave AA its present form, substance, and humanity. As AA now enters maturity, it has begun to reach into 44 clans and the view of its friends. This is but the beginning of its unique and valuable service. It is hoped that this volume will afford all who read it a close-up view of the principles and forces which have made Alcoholics Anonymous what it is. AA General Service Office. I'm sorry, I was supposed to read that. Tomorrow we're going to do step 1 in the 12 steps. So, I hope you all enjoyed.